This is Nessyp of Nessyp Entertainment. We are here with the most fabulous guest today, Miss Erica Janelle. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Nessyp. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, this is awesome. I have so much to talk to you about. I am so excited.
I can't wait.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, Miss Erica has a podcast. She's an author. She's a singer. She runs her own business. She's just a woman of the world here. You know, we are so excited to have her. So, Miss Erica, I'm going to go down the list here.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about your podcast.
Okay, so I have a podcast called Relationship Talks with Erica Janelle, and it's everything all about relationships. I feel like society has changed a lot in the last few years where people are starting to get away from having, real solid relationships and a solid foundation for relationships. I feel like everything's so fly by night these days. So my podcast is really talking about everything from sex to, how to be vulnerable and how to understand the true levels of intimacy and connection and the things that we need in order to have successful relationships. I also talk about the negative things as a person that's been twice divorced. I understand. I think I'm pretty knowledgeable on what works and what doesn't work. And so I try to take my personal experience and kind of talk about the issues that people are scared to talk about.
Wow. That just sounds so intriguing to me. What was your hardest question that someone had asked you in order to be able to kind of understand relationships better?
Well, so when I tell people that I'm twice divorced, they're like, oh, well, you obviously have not had relationships that work. I said, well, you got to realize my first time I was married, I was 18 years old.
Okay.
I got married fresh out of high school. My ex-husband was in the military. We both were 18. We were very young. We stayed married for 7 years. It was a really hard marriage. He was a serial cheater. And I stayed and I fought and I believed God for my marriage to work for 5 out of the 7 years I was fighting and believing God. And it took me 2 years to really get to the strength to actually leave. Because in my mind, when I'm married to you, I'm married to you for life. Like it's a full on commitment. And so you rewind and you fast forward and you go to my second marriage. I married a guy that I should have never married in the first place.
Wow.
We were friends and we should have stayed friends. And I stayed married to him for 10 years. And that was a very verbally and physically abusive relationship. And I stayed in it for the sake of my commitment. And having been through domestic violence, having been through, the cheating and the lying and the women and all the drama you can think of in a marriage, I had to go through a healing process. So I took many years of therapy. I still go to therapy every week. I took time to become healed. And so when I speak from relationships, I speak from a place of a person that's healed. One of the promises that I made to God when I got out of my relationships was, I don't ever want to make the next man pay for what the previous men did. So if you're going to have issues, it's going to be because you made that bed that you're going to lay in, not because of something that's happened to me in my past. So I come as a person that is whole and is open to love. And people are like, you still want to get married? I said, absolutely. Because now I know what not to do and I know what to do. So I think I'm real qualified and I'm a life coach. So that helps.
Oh my goodness. That's awesome. So, and I mean, I love this topic. I think that is a really great podcast. So what would you tell someone that's just starting in a relationship? What like, how would you recognize those red flags that, sometimes we see those flags, but we just kind of ignore them thinking that they're going to go away. What advice would you give to that person?
I would say when a person shows you who they are, believe them. And that means, so if the person's always omitting the truth or, giving half truths, then they're a liar. So understand, if that's what you're signing up for and you're okay with somebody that's going to lie to you, understand that it's not going to change. If he's a liar now in the dating process, he's a liar when you get married.
You have a point there. I am definitely going to have to join that podcast. It just sounds so interesting. Okay, so tell us about your book.
Okay, so I am writing a book, and it is a direct, it's an autobiography of my experience and my life. It's called A Voice of a Victim, exposing or overcoming the generational curse of sexual assault and incest within the family.
Wow.
It's a taboo topic that nobody wants to talk about.
Okay.
And it is based off of my story and my family's story, me being a victim myself. And then after my daughter experienced some things, I was the person in my family that actually brought that person to justice and went through the whole process.
Wow.
So I go from an experience, not only just my own, but as I went through my experience, it opened up all other types of things that have been happening in my family for years and generations that everyone kept secret. And so my goal with this book is to help people that are victims understand you have nothing to be ashamed of, and that the secrets that we keep in the family is the reason why the perpetrators continue to be so bold to do it. You take your power back by exposing the truth. And so that's what my book is about. I'm super excited about it. It's coming out this summer. It's in the hands of the editors as we speak.
Okay.
So I'm working on that. And that goes right in line with my nonprofit, which is called Overcoming Abuse Through Healing, OATH. And I'm doing a big retreat for victims of domestic violence and sexual assault in October.
In October?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is that going to take place?
It's going to be in Maryland, which is where I reside right now. So I'm targeting my area first, and I'm going to really reach out to all of the battered women shelters and the rape crisis centers. I'm going to bring all of those women together, or people together in a group. We're going to transport them to this retreat center, and for 2 days, we're going to do nothing but healing.
You definitely have to keep me posted on that.
Yes, I definitely will.
It just sounds so interesting, because a lot of us, I personally feel like you said, we don't share that information. We hold on to that information, and to be able to get some of that out is a healing process. So
it is a healing process. I've done it. So I'm speaking from experience, and I broke the curse over my family because I did something about it, and because I did speak up.
Do you think that that's a generality for us as women, to hold that information in and not share that with others because of the fact that they're family members?
Because of the fact that it's family members, and there's a lot of shame. There's a lot of shame and a lot of guilt associated with it, especially as a parent. You know, you always want to blame yourself. Mom guilt is a thing. We blame ourselves for everything as moms. We could be the best mom on the planet, but we still feel like we're not ever up to par when it comes to what we're supposed to do as moms. But for me, I had to learn that in order for me to really, truly show strength, I had to expose what I went through. And there were things that I had to expose that were uncomfortable. But when I exposed it, it made it a lot easier for my daughter to come to me and explain some of the things that she was experiencing.
Okay. Oh my God. Well, that shows you right there, you're a wonderful mom, because you can relate to that and deal with that. So no, there's no shame and no guilt there. Oh, this is so awesome. Okay, so you also have a YouTube channel, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So could you tell me a little bit about what you do on your YouTube channel?
So my YouTube channel, it's Erica Janelle Life Coaching. It's where I really focus on my life coaching. So I'm focused on self-love, number one. Self-love, perseverance, forgiving yourself, learning how to know your value and your worth, so that when you are looking to enter into relationships, whatever kind of relationship, whether it's family relationships, male-female relationship, female-female, whatever kind of relationships it is, I need you to be healed and whole as an individual first, so that you don't bring baggage into your next relationships. And so I focus a lot on different things. I talk about entrepreneurship. I talk about being confident in your skills and your abilities, and walking in your purpose, and trusting God, and perseverance, and walking by faith. I teach all of those things because I'm like the most open closed person because I'm actually really, really private in real life.
Okay, in real life.
But when it comes to the higher purposes of helping people, I'm willing to bear it all because I know we all are struggling with something, and we don't have to try to put on this facade of being strong all the time. We have to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is a strength, and it's a power that people don't tap into. And because people are scared of being vulnerable, they don't realize the power that comes with vulnerability. And I had to learn it in my own journey. So I teach what I'm learning. So when I'm going through things, like when I was going through challenges on my job and haters hating on me and all of those things, I talk about that stuff on my channel because I'm real. I'm like, yeah, they're getting on my nerves today. And I want to cut somebody today, but I'm going to pray.
Oh my goodness, that is so, but you know what? You're right, because it's like we all go through lives and with the stages that we go through. And I don't know, I find this really crazy. There was this movie called Sybil, and she had all these different personalities, and we experience that every day. You have to have a different personality at work, at home, when you're out in public, you know, you're doing all of these different things. So,
all these hats we have to wear.
Exactly. That is so awesome. So now the big thing is you have an EP tour coming out.
I do. I'm so excited. So my EP is directly related with my podcast. So it's Relationship Talks with Erica Janelle, the EP. And we're talking about everything for relationships. We're talking about good old fashioned, nasty, sweaty sex. We're talking about breakups. We're talking about fighting for your relationship. We're talking about, you know, vulnerability, being open, being flexible, being honest. We're bearing it all. And I have learned just in my personal experience, just, you know, all the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows of relationships. So I'm literally releasing music as in conjunction with my podcast. So it's kind of like it all flows together.
Wow. I mean, you have so much going on. How do you find the time? I mean, dealing with relationships, dealing with your podcast, trying to talk to people, trying to help heal people. How do you find the time to coincide all of that together?
You know, people ask me that all the time.
It's so much, you have so much energy just based on our conversation right now. There's so much energy. So if someone, I mean, we're all doing different things at different times. So what suggestion would you give to somebody to combine all of that energy? I mean, is it a point of being really, really organized, or someone else to be organized to help you with that? But how do you find the energy for that?
I'm just naturally a multitasker, so I think that helped me.
Okay.
But I think I spent a lot of time in prayer. So all of these businesses and ventures that I've done, they started at different times and at different seasons.
Okay.
And I've literally only been doing this for 2 years now. And I've literally combined, and I'm now starting to see how God is moving them all together. So literally, I just step out on faith, and I pray about it, and I step out and I go with what I feel in my heart to do. So if it is in my heart to do it, I just step out on it. I don't even think about it. I just do it.
So is that what, and I didn't mean to cut you off. I do apologize for that, because I'm like really excited about all of this, you know, but is that based on your faith? Is that what gives you the inspiration to continue all of this and put all of this together?
That faith is a part of it, but the bigger part of it is really wanting to help people live a fulfilled and happy life. I feel like we have gotten away from why our purpose for being on this earth. It is to love and to be loved. At the end of the day, that's what we're here for. We're here to be loved and to give love. And I'm here to kind of bring us back to those basics.
Okay.
That's what I feel like my purpose is. And whether it be through the healing process, through coaching, because I have clients that I coach.
Okay.
Whether it be through, you know, facing, you know, your past that you want to bury and leave buried for the rest of your life, whatever that is, or even if it means just learning how to open up and being vulnerable and saying, okay, I'm not satisfied sexually in my relationship. What can I do to take my relationship to the next level so that we don't end up in divorce, or we don't end up, you know, pushing each other away? Right. You know, what can we do to change that dynamic? I just want to see people happy again. I want to see people smile. I feel like all we do is just work, grind, and nobody's really happy. Yeah. We're married for 25 years, but we don't even like each other.
That is just so awesome. Okay, so now we're going to get to, because I want everybody to find out where you are. So now your tour is starting from where to where?
So I'm going to be in St. Petersburg from April 1st to the 3rd. And then I just found out that we're going to be doing, I'm going to be headlining the jazz festival there. And I know that that's the week of the 8th.
Right.
Oh. So I don't have specifics on that, but if you guys visit ericajanellemusic.com, I will have all the updates there under my tours. We have everything on Eventbrite for the 1st through the 3rd. Okay. So I'll be doing the first venue is going to be Sip St. Pete. I'll be there on Friday night. And then Saturday, I have a brunch. And then Saturday evening, I'll be doing a venue at a hookah lounge. Okay. And then Sunday, I have a brunch. And then Sunday evening, I have an event. So all of that is on ericajanellemusic.com.
Wow. So tell us when your book comes out.
Yes, so I'm looking at summer. I don't have an exact date yet because it has to go through the editors and then the proofreader and then the formatter and all of those things. And I'm self-publishing. I have a publishing company.
Okay.
So
God, she's just this is so awesome.
Well, with that, I wrote and produced, I did the tracks and the vocals and wrote all of my own music. So I publish my own music, but I'm also publishing my own book. So I'm self-publishing.
Wow. Oh, wow. I can't wait till you get here to St. Pete. I am looking so forward to actually seeing you and seeing actually what you do. And I am definitely want to be there. So, our podcast, we can find you where?
It's on all of the platforms. It's on Apple. It's on Spotify. It's on all of your podcast platforms. Okay. It's Relationship Talks with Erica Janelle.
Okay.
Actually, and I also posted, I just did one yesterday, and I posted that on my YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it, the actual video, it's on my YouTube channel, which is Erica Janelle Life Coaching.
I am just so overwhelmed right now because this is just so awesome. I really want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me. I have learned so much in just these few little minutes that we have spent together. And I really, after you get settled and get back home and after all this is kind of settled down, I would like you to come back and talk to us and tell us how do you think it went, what you learned, and all that, and who you met and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. I am so sorry.
That's okay.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I put on Do Not Disturb. But anyway.
That's okay. Miss Erica, thank you again for talking to me. I really, really appreciate it. And I look forward to your time here in St. Pete.
I can't wait. I'm actually looking to move there eventually one day. I do. I love it there. I love it there. Yes.
Well, come on down.
I know. My kids are kind of like, Mom, I don't want to leave my friends. And I'm like, you'll get new friends.
Yeah, get new friends and they get to enjoy the sunshine instead of being cold.
Exactly. Instead of it, we had snow on Saturday and then it was 60 degrees today. So.
Oh my goodness. That is awesome. Well, again, thank you again. We look forward to you coming back on our show and talking to us again. And congratulations on all of your venues and all the things that you are doing.
Thank you so much. And congratulations to you. Thank you for having me. I'm honored. I can't wait to meet you.
I know, right? I know. I'm so excited. Okay, this has been Nessyp of Nessyp Entertainment. Back to you in the studio.